Welcome to another edition of Lover's Lane. It's your host, Sween, and today our guest is Meraki and Noir. How's it going?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Not bad. Well, I'm just gonna get right into it. I was going to ask a question, but now I kind of want to reframe it because it I do not want to come off like divisive. So, how do you feel about collective consciousness?
As in, like,
Just like so, there's this idea that humanity is like all connected in a way that's not just physical, like
yeah.
mental, but maybe it is kind of like because electricity has been around since before lights. We have electricity in our bodies. So
hmm
possibly like this is me theorizing. This is no real science. It is, but it isn't. Like it's my kind of like my personal theory, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? But like we all emit aura waves, electricity, something. I believe that there is something going on where like you can feel someone's like vibe or
hmm
something along those lines. Like, what do you have like an idea on that or
Yeah. That's definitely not a concept that's completely foreign to me. I think I just didn't really understand like what exactly you were asking, but yeah, I've heard about that. I I don't disagree with it because like I definitely can see signs of that, just like how like you'll see the I don't know if you're on TikTok or I don't, that's not really just limited to TikTok. You'll see that everywhere where somebody will tweet or make a post about like some niche experience that they have, and somebody will be like, and everybody will be like, "Oh my God, that happened to me." Like I've never actually there. It's like, are there really ever any original experiences? Or is there just like a idea that we're like all separate? So it's like in theory, I understand that and I've heard that before. But like me personally, I don't necessarily feel very connected to people. Like I feel like I kind of, I wouldn't say struggle with that because I wouldn't say it's a struggle, but it's just something that I experience where I just don't really, I can connect with people, like I can have friends, but it's like it only really goes so far. So
okay. Yeah, I wanted to ask you that because just from listening to your music and seeing your posts, you you you've gone viral a few times and I feel like you have like compared to the average person, you've had like you get a lot of feedback on what you do. And
mhm.
I'm sure a lot of people have said they related to you. And or they like you might have even related to people in ways that you didn't even know that you could relate to. Like, has that ever happened? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that happens to me a lot. Especially growing up, I definitely grew up on the internet. And that is where, even to this day, I still get a sense of relation, but it's not like direct relation. It's just kind of like, I guess I'm a little bit parasocial. It's just like, oh, I have this like one YouTuber that like I just really connect with them, or like I'm reading this person's book and I'm just like, wow, I really resonate with, so um I feel like I kind of lost the question, but yeah, I feel like I answered the question, but yeah.
you're good. I feel like parasocialness gets overly shamed because we're in a day and age where it's almost impossible to not have some kind of degree of being parasocial just
Right.
because of all the social media. I won't even say you need it, but it's like it's kind of people look at you crazy if you don't have an Instagram. People look at you crazy if you don't have a
Mhm.
Facebook. So all of that, even when it comes to like talking to your own family and friends, that's like a degree of parasocialness if you're not like engaging with them like in phone calls and text and you're only engaging with them on social media, like that's still like a degree of parasocialness.
Mhm.
I don't like when people like try to shame like parasocialness personally. But I mean, I get why a lot of people do. They feel like they're trying to do them this favor where like you need to go outside, touch grass. But it's like
Mhm.
society kind of box this in.
Yeah. Or I feel like people like parasocial. That's why I said like I'm kind of parasocial because like I feel like I agree with what you're saying. And then I feel like mostly when people shame parasocial, it's just like people who are online, like as much love as I get, like there'll be people that's just like mad because they feel like I'm like coming for like their favorite singer or something. And I'm like, well, it's just a joke. But also it's like I hope you're getting paid going so hard for somebody who doesn't know who the fuck you are. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's when it becomes parasocial when you're like people who are like you say something about their favorite artist and they're like doxing, and that's when it's just like you something's not right, you know?
Yeah, they're like that's for sure like like kind of like a maligned form of like parasocialism, I think.
Yeah, and that's why I said for me, it's just like there are people that like I watch and I genuinely feel like connected to. Like it feels like a friend, but then realistically, it's like I don't really know this person. I've never really, So
That's a fact. So, all right, now, so you make a lot of music on top of the viral moments. I've listened to your entire discography and you're great. You're like,
thank,
your music is awesome.
thank you.
Of course. And so in a lot of your music, I feel like you get the range from like being angry to being vulnerable. And it's like, but it's not like you're not afraid to go either way. Like it's not like is in that I'm going to assume that's just because of lived experience, right?
Yeah. I've been making music ever since I was a kid, and I feel like when I was a kid, it was very much just like, oh, I have this talent and like I want to use this talent and like I want to be rich and famous. And so like I would make songs, but like I would kind of just make songs that I thought were good songs. But then eventually it got to a point where it's like, well, I don't really have people who I feel comfortable confiding in. So now I just do that in my music. So it just it's like I don't really have a choice, kind of.
It's like free therapy in a sense, right? Because
Yeah.
I like to say that it's like a form of venting you can do that it's even if you wanted to, you couldn't really get past in conversation. Just
Mhm.
from the simple nature and basis of conversation as a back and forth versus music. You're letting it out and you're also trying to fit it in this box of being catchy or listenable.
Right. And I
So
feel like, yeah, I feel like that's what I did before. Like I was just like, I don't know. And I was like, when I was like really, really young, like I started writing music in elementary school. I was like really obsessed with you probably don't know. Have you ever heard of the Naked Brothers band?
the Nickelodeon.
Yeah. I was like really obsessed with them. So like, I don't know, I tried to make songs like them. Like I just tried to really, I guess emulate whatever, whoever I was inspired by at the time. But I feel like eventually, um, and currently, it's just kind of me venting.
Now, I do want to get into relationships. Um, I don't necessarily want to get like super personal with it,
Mhm.
but I am curious personally, like, is there anything that you would tell your younger self just about navigating and engaging in relationships? Uh,
I would definitely say take their word for it. Like that idea helps. I would say any I'm navigating any relationship, but I feel like specifically with romantic relationships, especially today, I feel like, well, not like I said earlier, because we had to start over, but like I was telling you, I feel like a lot of people are bitter and they have a lot of ego. So like a lot of people like to play games and like do the push and pull and all of this. And like the way that I just navigate that is like take their word for it. It's just like, oh, he said he liked me, but then like he stopped texting me. Okay, well, he doesn't want to talk to you. And that's it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like whatever you show me, I'm gonna take your word for it. Like I'm not gonna sit here and try to figure out and try to like, I don't, you know? And I feel like it grounds me in a genuine way, not in like some type of, well, it's his loss because I'm the prize. It's like maybe, or maybe he just didn't like you. Because sometimes people just don't like you. But sometimes people are playing games and they like you, so they want to act like they don't like you because they don't want to seem like they like you. And it's just like, I feel like for me, I'm gonna get what's for me. So it's like if you're not for me, then it's not for me. So then it's just like whatever.
So I want to get to that. When you said when they like you, but they want to act like you don't like you, you're saying you wouldn't even want to fight past that, even if you had a pretty good idea that they like you. If they're gonna act like they don't like you, that means there's something going on. Like you said, they're probably bitter, unhealed, and that's definitely like ego, like you said.
Yeah. And so it's like, why would I fight past that? Because it's like, how is that gonna work long term? And I guess it also boils down to what you're looking for. Cause some people they are only looking for that attention or like, oh, I want somebody to spend money on me or whatever. I mean, whatever people want. But I feel like I only want just something that's genuine. And if you are, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not genuine because you know that you like me. So why are you acting like, or it's like, or like I said, maybe they don't like you, but it's just like, it is what it is. Like either way, I'm okay because like I only want what's for me. So it's like, if you don't like me, then that's great because everybody can't be the one for you. But then it's like, if you do like me, but then you're acting like you don't like me, then it's just like, well, you're weird. And well, I don't want to say you're weird because that's dismissive. Because, like I said, I know people have trauma and whatever, but it's just kind of like, why are you making that my problem? I didn't do nothing to you, you know? So I would say it's unfair, is a better word, not weird.
No, yeah, that's I can't disagree with none of that. So with that being said, would you say that say someone is in a relationship, two people in a relationship, would you say that the one who cares the most is the one with like the least power? Some people might say that.
Mm-hmm. I would disagree. I feel like whoever is the most vulnerable and open has the most power. Because if you are going back to what I said, if you're in a situation and it's like, oh, I really like this person, but like I don't want to seem like I'm too pressed or I'm too thirsty. And it's just kind of like, well, what if they die tomorrow? And you spent your whole time trying to be so cool and nonchalant. You didn't even get to really experience the fullness of that individual that you really love. Like you really fuck with them, but you were just like, nah, I'm so nonchalant. It's kind of like, well, that's on you now. But the person who was vulnerable and they made sure that they treated every moment like it was their last, they die with no regrets. They die with fullness, with freedom. You know what I mean? And you die just the same way you lived, miserable. So, damn, that kind of was.
That's heavy. No, I mean, if that's just, is there anything like who could say that you're wrong?
Yeah, and that's why, like, for me, I guess I'm just a really big picture person, and that's why I said I'm okay either way. Because if I like somebody, I don't really have problem showing that interest. And then it's just like, and if it's returned, then good. And then if it's not, then okay, because I only want what's for me. You get what I'm saying? Like that's kind of where that mindset comes in. It's just like, well, I only want what's for me anyway. So it's just like maybe you're not for me.
So would you say that you believe that everyone should experience ego death to an extent?
Yeah. But I feel like you need your ego because your ego is like what helps you walk away when like I feel like I would say I'm a pretty vulnerable person and I say that like with a sense of pride, not in like a, oh, I'm so vulnerable. But it's just like, so, but when it's like when I feel like I'm in any, and not just romantic, in any scenario where I feel like I'm not being respected, it's really nothing for me to walk away because I do have that sense of pride. It's like, well, it's like I love you, but if it's ever me versus you, it's always going to be me over anybody. I don't care who it is, you know. So I feel like it's just balance, like between your ego and who you actually are, because your ego is not even who you actually are. Like your ego is the reason why you act like that you don't like that person, knowing damn well that you be on their Instagram and you be, you know what I mean? It's like that's so stupid. It's like, what do you gain? I don't know. It just feels counterproductive. Like, I don't know.
But do you deal with like any apps like Tinder, Hinge, anything?
Um, I've had my fair, I wouldn't even say fair share. Every time, like I've downloaded it twice. Every time I downloaded it, after like a couple of days, I have to delete it because I feel like it's not really set up to be successful. Like if you have so many people that you're talking to, it's impossible to get to know so many people at once. You know what I mean? Like it's really not set up to work, to be honest, because I feel like the only way it would work, you would literally have to have the tenacity to really sit that out and like go through so many like, oh, so how long have you been on you know what I mean, like the small talk and the like you can only sit through that so many times before like inevitably you just get like bored or jaded or whatever. So I'm not, personally, I don't have the tenacity, so that's why like I'll download it and then I'm just like, this is boring, and then well, I won't even say this is boring because, like I said, it's like people may not necessarily be boring, but it's just like if they talking to 12, 15 people, how engaged in conversation can you really be, you know? So, and like I said, I feel like I'm somebody that's just like, well, if it's for me, it's for me. So it's like maybe it'll just come to me. Maybe I shouldn't be on these apps, you know? And that's kind of like where I'm at, or I'm just like, well, it'll just happen.
I kind of agree with you on the it's for me because it it's almost like there's too many choices
Mm-hmm.
on the dating apps, and suddenly you start feeling like you start overthinking about what you like, what you don't like, and you don't think like in person, you that's not how you're thinking. You're going off.
Exactly. The energy, the vibe, the connection, not, oh, they're only 6'2". I only like niggas at 6'5". You're like, you know what I mean? It's like you're reading people like they're like a fucking, like you're on Amazon or something. It's like it's literally inherently unnatural. That's not how connection works. So it's like it's low key, it's just like, yeah, I'm sorry. I kind of cut you off.
No,
Sorry.
no, no, that's you're great. Yeah, I still go on every now and then just so I could feel like just to see kind of see what the market is like. I don't want to say I shouldn't say market, but just to see
Mhm.
what's it looking like out there? Like who's looking and what are people looking for these days?
Mhm.
And do people like me? Even a little validation. I'm gonna be 100. Like I don't like I look for validation sometimes. Like do
Mhm.
you how do you, how what are your ideas just on validation now that I bring it up?
I don't think it's anything wrong with wanting validation. I do think it's wrong to use people for not like, and let me preface, because not like what you just said. Like if you're like, oh, I just want to feel like, whatever. But it's some people that's like, oh, I know this nigga like me, but I don't like him, but I just kind of play with him because that I don't like that. Like that's what I
Mm.
use people for validation. But it's just like I think everybody wants to be heard, seen, understood. I think it's just what you do with it. Like everything is everything. It's just how you handle it. Like things aren't inherently bad. It's how you are deciding to use these things, you know? Because it's like if you're an artist, you want people to listen to your music, you want people to like your music. That's not bad. But it's just like if you're an artist that maybe you built a fan base doing one thing, and then you totally switched up on your fan base, and now you mad at your fans because they not fucking with it. Then it's just kind of like, well, maybe that's not the best example. But you see what I was trying to do.
No,
You
no, that's
know?
but because I get what you're saying. You're saying you, as an artist, you want people to listen to your music. You did what you needed to do to get people to listen enough to where you gather a fan base.
Mm,
But then maybe it's for money, or maybe it's out of insecurity. You switch up everything.
right,
You gotta take the consequences of that. Like
right.
you
Mhm.
switch up, they gonna switch up. Like
Right. Yeah. But you still want the same level of validation. It's like you probably gonna have to, you know, that's probably gonna be the trade-off. Yeah.
well, since we're on music, one of your favorite songs of mine is Empty Hearted. Like I put that on repeat a few times.
Thank you. I like that song too.
Did you was that just something you just wrote like because of a specific event, or is it like a culmination of just your life experience?
I think I wrote that just during a time where that's just how I was feeling. And so I just, and my favorite thing about when I write music is it's never planned. And so sometimes I may not even know the extent of how much I'm feeling until I'm like getting some ideas and then like I reach a flow state and then I step back to look at what I've made and I'm just like, damn, you feel like that? And it's like, yeah, I guess. Or it's like with that song specifically, it's like I said, that was just like a really dark time in my life. So it's like I knew that I felt like that, but I guess I just didn't really understand the extent. So I feel like it's kind of it helps me psychoanalyze myself. Really.
That's that's my favorite thing about recording music when I make music. Like I go back and listen to a lot of my old stuff. I'm like, it's like you gain new insight about yourself. Like
Mhm.
it's you start to get you start to understand why some artists are very just particular about why they record. Like some of our favorite artists, like
Mhm.
very like they take their time and they might be like super picky about certain things. And it's like a lot of people who are don't I'm not no shade to people, but like a lot of people who don't participate in recording music, they just think it's just like a job where you just go in and record. It's like it's a completely different kind of work.
Yeah.
With that being said, who is someone that you feel like would really like resonate with you and you'd be like you feel like you could collab and work with and it would just be like smooth as butter, like
I don't know because I feel like there's so many sides to me that I mean, well, I guess, and I'm not even saying it's just because she's like my favorite ever, but Tinashe, just because she's like that too. Like there's so many sides to her, so many sounds. So I feel like we could leave with something, you know, we could connect somewhere.
so we actually did a song together called Make It Make Sense, which is
Yeah,
it
LOL.
was that was a fun experience. That
Yeah.
was I think you were the first R&B person that I've collabed with. I'm not like trying to do super self promo. I mean, because it's a mutual thing.
Hmm.
So what was how much collaboration have you done before that? Like
I've done quite a few features and just like collabs, like kind of like I've done a lot of me, like other people asking me to be on their song, but I haven't done anything where like I wanted, and I always thought about that. And it's just because, like I said, every time I'm writing, I'm venting so much that I'm not even thinking about like, oh, I'd love to hear Janae Eiko on this. You know what I mean? It's like I'm trying to get my feelings. I'm trying to get my mind right now, you know?
that's a dope point because it's like when you're making like a venting kind of music, how could you even invite someone else in that space? It's so
Yeah.
intimate.
Right.
I think the only way that you could possibly get that off is if you brought in someone in like this might sound crazy, but like in like a therapist chair role, and they're kind of like, you ever watch Sopranos?
Mm-mm.
Well, any show or any like where it's just like someone a therapist they're and they're asking someone questions and it would just I feel like the only way you could do that is if there's someone like lyrically like guiding you and asking you and just kind of like bringing even more out of you. But yeah, that would be tough to like because I've done some collaborations where it's me venting and then them sometimes they'll just like go off on a tangent that has nothing to
Exactly.
do you believe that making music and writing lyrics and posting and editing, do you think that's kind of helped you with just communication overall? Like, what do you say?
Um, yeah, I feel like it's helped me with understanding myself so that I'm able. So yeah, I guess to answer your question, yes, it's helped me understand myself so that I am able to communicate myself better to other people.
How are you feeling about uh how do you feel like AI is going to affect human connection in the future? Like, because something's going to happen with AI and there's going to be some kind of there's already conflict with human connection and AI and authenticity. What's your feelings on that?
I feel like it's gonna push people to see what's real. Like people are actually literally gonna be forced to touch grass because like it's so funny. It's this girl going viral on TikTok right now, and she has like a popular song. And I just heard the song so much that I finally saved it. And then like I went to her page and I saw people in the comments were like, this is not a real girl. These tech guys made her with AI and da da da. And so like I spent like 30 minutes going through like her pictures and trying to figure out like, is this AI? But it's really gotten to the point where it's like I literally wouldn't be able to tell. So it's like that's gonna force people to be like, I need to see if this real. Like I feel like it's gonna make people want to go more to concerts because it's like, wow, being a human is like a new form of currency. It's like, yeah, I like this song, and guess what? It's by a real person. Like this is not even know, you know what I mean? Like this is gonna actually just make it better. Like now people are forced to see what's real because like it's getting so advanced, especially like Black people, because for some reason we are like the number one AI generated group of people. So,
That's that's some deep, dark stuff, I feel like, because that I think that just goes into like how this whole country was founded type deal
mhm.
and capitalism and all that. I don't know if you wanted to get that deep. I'm down. If you down, I am. Because we could really crack it open if you want. But yeah, what you yeah, because it's concerning.
Mhm.
It's concerning. Like uh I yeah, AI scares me. And but like, that's a bar. Being human will be currency. Like
Mhm. Yeah, I guess it is. But like literally dead ass. Like, yeah, I'm a real person, and I feel like it's gonna make people because like I feel like it's always just like I can't think of the name, but like we learned it in English class where it's like how stories go. It's like it builds up to the climax and then it goes. It's like that's how it's been with technology. It's like it's advanced so much to a point to where it's just like it's almost counterproductive. Like instead of it being so cool because it made our lives better and all of this other stuff, like now it's just kind of like, okay, I've seen enough. I actually want to go back. Like that's why we have people that are just so attached to nostalgia and people are on Twitter like, how come we don't have bridges no more? How come people don't sing like this? How come like people are missing the old world in a say. So it's like people will then be forced to create that. So I feel like it's just honestly to me it all just seems like evolution. That's why like it doesn't really scare me. It seems like something that was inevitable. Like even Vince Staples said in an interview, he was like they asked him how he feel about AI. He was like, "Man, nobody in this room gave a fuck when Siri came out." Everybody was like, "Hey Siri, Alexa," you get what I'm saying? But now it's getting to the point where it's like it's uncomfortable, but it's like you don't really hate AI because you've been using AI for over a decade. You just hate what it's turning into. You feel like it's something that's grown beyond your control. So it's like it's just which can be said about technology in general. So it's just the natural evolution. So like naturally it's gonna decline, not technology itself, but people's interest and dependency on technology. So,
Yeah, yeah. And then there's always been AI in like video games and stuff like that. Like when you're going against them little enemies or whatever in the game, it's technically that's AI.
mhm.
So yeah, Vince is so funny.
And I love him.
Now, what would you say to someone who's feeling like really like apathetic about the direction of like all of this technology stuff, AI, and just some people who feel like people aren't gonna be like able to connect the way they used to?
Mhm. I would say that they need to start looking for opportunity because, like I said, is being and like I see it specifically like when I think about AI, I think about it specifically in art because I feel like that's where, at least right now, we're seeing it the most. Like it'll be a song trending on, like I said, TikTok, and now it's like, oh, this is what AI, we don't like this anymore. Like that's the only space where I've seen it really be like an issue. I haven't really seen AI anywhere else. Like the thing of like people are like AI is gonna take our jobs. It's just like no, because there's always gonna be a customer service rep that's gonna have to go behind the robot because the robot is a fucking robot. A robot will never be perfect. Like, you know what I mean? So I would just say that you just have to find the opportunity, however that applies to you. Me personally being an artist, I'm just like, this helps me because like I get extra cool points just for being human. That is amazing for me. Like it is people that will literally listen to me eventually one day just because it's like, yeah, this isn't an AI, like this is a real black girl. You can see her in concert. So, I mean, yeah, I would just say look for the opportunity. I'm pretty sure you could like take that and apply it to wherever, whatever industry or whatever specific area of life you may be fearful of AI. And I always feel like it's always every couple of years some big thing that we should be so scared of. And then we get on the other side of it and it almost is like obsolete. Like a couple years ago, everyone was just like, if you don't have the vaccine, you're not going to be able to travel. Has anybody said anything about that shit? Like, you know what I mean? When the last time you went somewhere and they was just like, yeah, have you had a COVID test in the last 30 days? But like 3, 4 years ago, that was people's whole entire lives. That's all people could talk about. So you really got to take shit with a grain of salt because people be making shit sometimes intentionally bigger, scarier than it really is, and it's really not even that.
Nah, yeah, 'cause this media gets money off clicks, and they so clicks by any means necessary. What happened?
No, I was doing Michael Jackson. It's the media.
Oh, oh.
But like dead ass, like, and that's why I said sometimes, most times it's intentionally to make people scared. And it's just like, well, instead of sitting here scared, I'm finna plan my next move. Because okay, it's a problem, it's a problem. We so scared, we so scared. Okay, but at a certain point, you got to figure out what the fuck you gonna do about it because you sitting here scared, you sitting here worried. It's not much help to you. It's actually counterproductive.
Yeah, you can't be scared. That's a big one. A lot of it, like, what's being scary going to do of all of this stuff that you really can't control? Like, you need to like find a way to navigate it, whether it's around it or through it, or that's yeah.
Mhm. And it may not even end up being a problem. And then it's just like, wow, I wasted all that time being so scared. And like, it would be so funny if like in 2, 3 years, AI wasn't even like, it didn't even evolve past fucking chat GPT and fucking fake ass songs. Like, it's what y'all was scared was gonna take y'all job. But
That's a fact. Um, do you, this is mad random. How how do you feel about um just like how people connect through like food, like cooking? Like, do you believe in like a concept of like cooking with love? Do you think that is like that's basis in reality, or is that just like a metaphor?
Um, yeah, I think that's a real thing. And I've prior in my life, I never was a big cook, but since being on my own, I've been forced to cook. And like I remember one day I just was like, what would happen if I just before I started making my food, I just was like, God, help me make this food taste really good. Like I was just like, well, I wonder what would happen if I did that. And then like I did that and like that was like it's like I reached a flow state. So I definitely feel like you can put intention in anything and it doesn't it's not limited to just like grandiose like I want to manifest my dream job. It's like I want to manifest making the best meals that I can. You know what I mean? Like so yeah, I definitely do. And that's why I try not to eat too much fast food because
Hmm.
them kids is angry in there and they do not want to be there. And they is fucking up your burger, nigga, and your fries. Like they putting all that negative energy in your shit and you eating it. So I try to be mindful if I am gonna eat fast food. It's like, all right, let me eat some Jamaican food, you know. Let me eat some at least something that's kind of cooked. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's better, maybe.
What that anger. That's a fact. Because I worked security at an In-N-Out, and I wouldn't say all of them were angry, but the amount of tea and just the passive aggression that I was hearing, I'm
Mhm.
like, uh, I'm like, yeah, nah, yeah, there might be some truth to that. Because then sometimes some of the customers be coming up all mad about petty stuff. So it's like,
And that's why, because they a customer. They be there all the time, eating all that negative energy, and they come back, they in the line mad. I want my fries fresh. It's like, girl, who the fuck are you? But
and it's interesting you said what you said about uh God help me with the food. I one time I was like really just thinking about this food I had from this Irish restaurant called Cornmeal Mush. And I
mm,
just couldn't stop thinking about it. And I was like, before I cooked, I was like, ancestors, please help me make this cornmeal mush. And so like, it's just, it's crazy. I personally do believe that a lot of the issues with like people and connection and all that, it probably has something. The food is definitely a lot more involved than we are led to believe. That's a whole other level of just deep, dark stuff going on around this control of just like the ingredients and fake ingredients and farms being corporatized and
mhm.
uh but yes. Uh well, I don't know if there's anything else. Do you have okay, yeah. Do you because you've been you've been dropping a lot of like you dropped a freestyle and then you like you're starting to rap a little more. And what's the one you did? It's called Pissed, right? Or
Pissed.
the one where you like you talking about these they're talking shit da, 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 da. And
That could be a lot of songs.
no, but recently you put one out.
Oh, recently? Oh, On My Nerves. It's
On my
probably,
nerves. Yeah.
yeah.
Is that a part of a bigger project? Is you got something you got something coming out?
Oh, not a project, but I do have more stuff coming. I'm kind of just, I would say I'm running some tests right now.
Like
Well,
A/B testing type deal?
Yeah, I'm just trying to just trying to see. I'm experimenting. I'm collecting data right now. So, um, all of this is just the manifestation of that. But specifically a project coming soon, no.
Okay, bet. 'Cause I'm definitely looking forward to another project because when you have done you've put out with like three like kind of like groups of songs like projects, right?
Mm,
They're and they all do something different. Like you
mm.
went from like you had one with the skits and
Yeah,
like it's almost like kind of like a Kill Bill kind of story.
yeah.
And then the latest one you did, it was just kind of like just super on the vulnerability, like going all the way, just pouring it out. So
Mm.
I'm very curious and excited to see what you will have in store next. Um, now let's have a little fun. Before I go, is the what song do you want me to use to like play it out? Because that's what's gonna play like
Um, I guess you can use on my nerves
on my
since,
nerve.
well, I don't know. No, don't use that one. This is a pretty mellow conversation. I think you should use, I have a song called Euphoria. I think you should use that one. Yeah.
That'll be the one that plays us out. Any last thoughts? How do you was this a do you feel good about this interview on some meta?
This is really cool. Yeah, this is really fun, really natural.
I do what I can. I try. uh but if you don't have anything else to get off, anything, I guess we could cut it. Is there anything?
Um, no, I think you asked everything that I would have wanted to say. So, yeah.
Wow, I'm honored. Well, that has been another edition of Lover's Lane with Meraki and Noir. Y'all go listen to her music, go follow all her pages. She's super multi-talented. She can make you laugh and she can make you feel like all the emotions at the same like not a lot of people can do that, y'all. Like
Thank
so check her out.